I grew over 10,000 followers on my own Instagram account in just under 2 months after doing everything that I'm about to share with you in this video. I'm going to take you through the exact steps that I took in order to get these results. And just so you know that this is no fluke, besides growing my own Instagram account to this number, I have grown multiple accounts of my clients using this same process, generating them thousands of views, follows, and most importantly, leads and buying customers of my clients' services or products. Timestamps will be in the description below of this video. And if you want to learn more about how to grow your brand on social media, subscribe to my channel because I post videos like this every single week. The first thing I would do if I wanted to grow 10,000 followers on my Instagram account, genuine, real followers that are supporters of my business, would be to make an actionable plan and strategy. I mean, we've all heard the quote, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail, right? I know you just want to jump right in and start posting, but when was there ever a sustainable and long-term growth plan? Never. Here's exactly what you need to figure out before you get started. What is your purpose on social media? Are you posting on social media because you're an expert on a certain topic and you want to build a community and monetize your skills? Or are you posting on social media to entertain and share your lifestyle? Now, I'm not saying you need to completely niche down at this stage. However, you do need to pick 3 to 4 subtopics or themes that you're going to feature on your page. By doing this, it makes it so much easier to plan your content as you already have a framework to work around. For example, for my Instagram account, Naila Dawood, I have educational pieces of content around social media growth, behind the scenes of growing a business, and behind the scenes of working with my partner. And then I also share motivational and inspiring content for aspiring business owners. This has helped me stay super organized and clear on what type of content I want to share and post on my Instagram account. So now whenever I'm planning a piece of content, all I need to do is look at those 4 themes, pick one, and make something based around that. I also use a Notion board to track every step of my plan. I've also integrated a calendar into my board as well, so I know exactly what days each piece of content is going out on and what days I still need to plan content for. I have recently made this content board public and available for you to use as well. This is especially great for you if you don't have the time to build a whole new system around your content planning process. The best part about this product is I've included an entire page that teaches you how to source your own content ideas. This page is something I refer back to myself every single time I'm making a content plan for either myself or my client. The content planner also comes with an entire guide that teaches you how to create a variety of content with different formats and styles. And of course, if you know me, I made the content board really cute and easy on the eyes, which I personally think makes content creation really fun. If you are interested in purchasing this product that I've been working really hard on, you can find a link to it in the description below. Moving on to step 2, this is something that really helped me skyrocket my following, and that is identifying your USP, which stands for your unique selling point. What is the advantage that you have or characteristic that sets your brand apart? Something that makes you stand out from your competitors and makes you more appealing to your audience. Sometimes finding your USP can take a little bit of time and some trial and error. It can also take scrolling through your competitors' Instagram feeds and trying to identify what they don't do or what they don't have that you do. This is really going to help you create that more viral content. It's really the unique nuances of creators that really become the catalyst to their growth. For example, for my USP, I realize is that I run a social media marketing agency with my husband. Now there's so many social media marketing agencies out there. However, there's little to no agencies of where a couple is running the business together. We're a couple that work together in our cute little office and we make content for brands collaboratively. We all know everyone loves couple content on social media. So we thought to combine the couple content with the business and growth content. This made our content so much more appealing and interesting to our target audience. And generally people follow because that's what makes us so interesting. And lo and behold, content that includes my husband generally does much better than any other content on my page. So what sets you apart from your competitors? For this creator, Tyler Aromatherapy, she's a retired midwife and aromatherapist that creates and sells candles that are mood changing. Her USP is 1, her background as a midwife and aromatherapist, and 2 is that she makes everything from scratch herself and documents it. She hones in on this throughout all of her content by sharing so much behind the scenes footage of her process. I mean, huge competitors like Yankee Candle could never do what she does because it's just so much more personal and intimate. For one of my clients, Brown Girl Money Official, she teaches people about money and finance on her page. And there's a ton of money experts on Instagram. However, her USP is that she's a South Asian female from a minority group in the UK. And she shares so many unique and nuanced experiences around money and growing up as the child of immigrants. She creates content specifically around targeting that community and addressing those issues, making it her unique selling point and allowing her to stand out from her competitors. Once you find that USP, it's going to be so much easier to create unique content rather than the boring and generic content you see all over your feed. Step 3 is you're going to want to decide on your content quantity. It's important to decide beforehand how many times a week or a month you're going to post on Instagram. This is so you can give yourself a weekly or monthly goal and make sure that you actually commit to it, rather than just posting whenever you feel like it. Doing this helped me keep myself accountable. I set the goal that I was going to post at least 5 reels a week. Now, the amount that you want to post is completely up to you. However, you need to make sure it's something that you can commit to because consistency is so important when you want to grow on social media. Obviously, though, the more you post, the better it is for you. But that being said, there's absolutely no point posting 10 reels a week if they're going to be poorly planned and crappy quality. So you need to think of a number that you can commit to whilst also ensuring that you're able to maintain the quality of that content. So you need to be giving yourself a decent amount of time to concept your content, to plan and to edit. For me personally, I felt like 5 reels a week was just my sweet spot, where I felt I was able to post regularly and at the same time keep that quality. If possible, I definitely recommend that you go for something around that number. So now for step 4. Have you noticed on how I said you should be posting around 5 reels a week and I haven't mentioned graphics, photos or carousels? Whilst I do post an occasional image or carousel onto my feed, my strategy for significant growth in such a small amount of time is to rely heavily on Instagram Reels. If you want growth and you want to reach new audiences fast, posting more video content is definitely the way you want to do it. And this is for a few reasons. Reason number 1, Reels has its own tab on Instagram, meaning that Instagram wants users to consume more Reels. And Instagram also knows that users prefer Reels. We live in an age where short form video content is king. The Reels tab is also the place to be discovered by new audiences. When you watch Reels in the Reels tab, 99% of the content that you're going to consume there will be from accounts that you don't already follow, making it a form of content that makes you very discoverable. If I were to show you my Reel analytics, a majority of the views I get from there are from people that don't follow me. So my advice is to post more Reels if you're looking for faster growth. Step number 5. But what type of Reels should you post? You may wonder. There are a few types of Reels that you want to post for super fast growth on Instagram, and I'm going to run you through them right now. First, you want to go quite heavy on the entertaining or the funny Reels. Instagram have said themselves that people want to be entertained on Instagram, especially when they're mindlessly scrolling on the Reels tab. So partaking in funny trends, using the trending audios, or sharing relatable content is really going to help you with that growth. And honestly, entertaining doesn't always translate to funny. You don't have to constantly be a comedian to grow on Instagram. If that's not your thing, then don't worry. Entertaining can also just be sharing an interesting day in your life or sharing behind the scenes content of your business. Content that is just really human and down to earth, where you're not trying to educate. Now, educational content is good. Don't get me wrong, you definitely do need a mix, but it shouldn't all just be educational. You can also consider making edutaining content, which is a mix between educational and entertaining. You also want to be using trending audios when you can. Anything with this little upwards arrow in the bottom right corner is a trending audio. Or is it the bottom left? I can't remember, but it's in one of the bottom corners. There'll be a little upwards arrow. People that see certain trending audios and engage with them on their Reels tab are likely to be shown by the algorithm more videos that have that trending audio. Meaning that if you use that trending audio, your content is more likely to pop up on those people's people's feeds. And last but not least, you have shareable content, which is probably the number one type of content that will help you find quick growth on social media. If you're looking purely for growth, which I don't recommend you do, but if you are looking only for growth, the main metric you should be looking at is the reshare button. The more your post is shared, the more you're going to be put in front of new people's eyes. Adam Mosseri himself, the CEO of Instagram, has said that they show us posts depending on how likely we are to engage and reshare them. So you need to be creating content that people want to reshare, whether it's they reshare it on their story, they tag someone in the comments, or they send it to someone through the DMs. And you do this by making content that makes your audience feel seen or heard, almost as if they think, oh my god, this was made for me, which really isn't that hard when you think about it, seeing as humans, we all have so many shared experiences on this planet. You need to be and put yourself in the shoes of your target audience and ask yourself, would I reshare this? If you would, then post that piece of content. Now that you've worked out your content strategy and you're planning content consistently, and you have a better idea of what content you're going to be posting, what you want to do now is test. You want to test all of these formats, keep trying different styles, and constantly adjust your strategy. The more you create failed content and the faster you create failed content, the faster you're going to find what exactly works for you. A mistake that a lot of creators make is having a very rigid strategy from day one and only trying out a couple of content formats. In these beginning stages, you want to try everything, or at least as much as you possibly can, or that you're comfortable with. Try to make talking head videos, or try to make B-roll clips with trending music and text on top. Do mini vlogs, get involved in the trends. And whilst doing all this and posting this content, keep an eye on your analytics, which takes me to the last step, which is to read and monitor your analytics. Too many people ignore these metrics and then wonder why they're not creating content that works. The key metric I would focus on in these beginning stages is how many non-followers your posts are being shown to. As obviously we're trying to grow your following, so we need to be in front of as many new eyes as possible. If your posts are being shared to more non-followers than followers, that's generally a good sign that your content is receiving a decent amount of engagement, and so the algorithm is pushing out that content to more people. Look for patterns in your posts that are being shown to more non-followers. Usually it's a sign that that type of content is working for you. You can then dissect the good performing content and try to replicate similar features, similar styles, and similar formats in your other pieces of content so that you can replicate that same success and just find the thing that makes your content blow up. As I mentioned before, I quickly realized that content with my husband did extremely well. When I discovered this, I focused more on pushing out content like that. With this exact process, I was able to scale from 5,000 followers all the way to 15,000 followers in under 2 months. I know this video is heavily focused on super fast growth. However, I do want to mention that although growth is super important when it comes to social media, it's just as important that you cultivate and build a relationship with your current audience or your new followers, which you can learn more about in this video where I talk about building a personal brand on social media and build an obsessed audience, because there's literally no point of having thousands of followers if they're disengaged with your content. If you did enjoy this video or found it useful, I'd really appreciate a like, as it does help with the growth of my channel. And I guess I'll see you next week if you're subscribed.